Hello, fellow snobs. Today we're going to talk about Super Harem, another Indiegogo independent comic book project. So, as we get started here, let's take a look at what we got from Super Harem. So, there's, of course, the book itself. We have numerous numbers of cards, as you can see here, various characters. Some of these top ones here, this is the same character from the front here. Journey. They're kind of like power cards, that sort of thing. And these are just, what are these? Are these stickers? These are actually stickers. So these are some characters from the book, I believe, as well. And I don't know what this is. This is a sticker as well. So these 5 are all stickers. And of course, there was a nice, huge poster that came. You can see it's, much bigger than the comic book. And I haven't taken it out yet. There's actually 2. So there's the other side, and there's this side. So great art on the posters. So why did I order this this book? The creator, Weninger, I saw some of his stuff online, his YouTube stuff, and I kind of liked him. I wanted to support him. Also, the whole premise of the comic book is that a guy has he has sex with women, and the women he has sex with gain superpowers. So not a too serious of a concept, but I thought it was a fun concept, and it had it promised to mix up to bring the sexy back a bit to comic books. So mixing superheroes with sexy with a little bit of a comedic idea. I mean, I thought that was a good concept to go with. Now, unfortunately, I think that in some ways this fails, this book. And I'm going to get to that. So overall, I think the art is good. If we look through the colors, I really like the colors. Colors are done really well. I'm not an artist expert, but my biggest problem with the art is it seems like there's too much fine line work, and I don't know what they call that. I mean, you see in the here in the poster, I don't see that problem in the poster on either side of the poster. That's all. That's good. But when you come into, let me see if I can find something. We come in here, some of the faces look a little rough because there's a lot of too much line work. I don't know how that would work normally with artists. Maybe the artist does a less fine work, and then the colorist colors in more. I don't know. Maybe there's, I'm not sure how that works. Now, I do like this here. This the guy's getting drunk, and he's got this little the shaking, like the thing's shaking. I think that's a great little effect there. That's well done. So you can see like some of these, they're getting the lines, a lot of. Let me see if I can see that there. A lot of dots, a lot of things that I think it takes away a little bit. And it's not so bad, all this in here, is that necessary? I mean, I don't know, I'm not an artist, but it just seems like it gets really busy. All of this coming out of here, so many lines. And it gets, here's where it becomes, it starts to become, you see lines everywhere. I mean, that would just be my personal preference. I'm not like I said, I'm not an artist. I don't know, maybe it's just the style. But it just seems to get a little busy, and it seems to take away from it, especially when you've got some of these characters which are supposed to be, if it's a woman who's been beat up or a guy who's ugly or whatever. But when you've got, beautiful women and there's a lot of line work, you want to think you want to see more smoothness for people who are supposed to be attractive. Okay, so here's where it gets like I don't have trouble with this, but look, all these lines. I get what they're trying to get off, but I just think it becomes, and in here, just so busy. And I think, this here, This is the monster is putting out fire or something. It's just lines and lines everywhere. And again, it's my personal opinion, not an artist. Maybe I'm wrong. So, yeah. And lots of cross hatching, I guess I would call it here. Maybe too much, in my view. So, that would be one of my criticisms of the art. Other than that, I think the artwork is good. Let's talk next about the story a little bit. Now, I think that the story is a little short for the size of the book. I expected a little more. It's got 2 stories in it. The first one is the main character, gets drunk, gives this girl superpowers. But she's not the first. There's been someone else called Valkyrie, a superhero named Valkyrie who disappeared. And then the second story is, where does it start? Let's find it. Is Valkyrie comes back. The princess Valkyrie comes back, and then these 2 women have a bit of a they have problems, the 2 women. Now you see, I'm complaining with the line work, too much lines, but you see something like this. This isn't a lot of lines. This is better. There are some where there's not a lot. There's a lot less. So I don't know. It's just a choice made. So, and that's my next. The fact that the story is short. It's not so much that there's less pages, but I think that my view is that there's too much. The battle scenes are not. They need to be better edited, and I don't blame the artist. The artist usually just writes whatever the creator tells them to draw. But I think some of these battles are a little bit long, and there's a lot of foosh in there, like foosh, 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 right? So let me find. I think it's best off in. Okay, I'm not sure. I don't think the shark attack does kind of takes away from. I get it. It's a little jokey thing, but it's just a lot of. The shots are a lot of long shots, like long shot, and then you have some close-up stuff, and that's fine. But this is, I think they should be mixed more. And again, this is I think too much line work in the shots. There's a really good example later on. The battle just goes on, and I don't see that I get much from it, and there's actually less story because. There's just pages and pages of battle, and I don't think the battles are well edited in the sense that here's a good example. We got long shot of it's all, and it's just foom, 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 slam of these people, and hitting. I think you could do it in less, and you could have more time for story. Or more, I just feel that it's a little bit too much of that, and not enough. Here we go again, and I think this. I think this shot would be good. It's fighting some giant monster, but it's just too much line work in it again. And again, I would blame Wedinger. Himself, because he's the guy who's supposed to. He's the creator. He's editing it, and he's telling the artist what to do. So, foosh and foom. So I would just if there's a follow up to this, I would be interested in the follow up, but I would hope that there would be a little bit tighter in the story, a little bit a little bit tight in the story, maybe a little bit less lines in the artwork. And again, you can see the difference between what I showed you and something like that, I don't feel there's too much line work in that. And then we get more story out of it as well. So, for the same amount of pages. So that's my review of, one last thing too. No trade dress or anything on the front of the book. Sometimes I'm flipping it over and going, which is the back and the front? You could tell for sure, but, you should put a little trade dress on there, promote yourself a little bit. So in the end, that's my review of Super Harem. Just to summarize, again, I'd consider getting the next volume issue of this one, but I would have to, feel that the art was tightened up a little bit less lines, and also the story was not so much extra of these fight scenes and the fooshes, and maybe a little bit tighter, more story for the amount of pages we got. So if you have any, I hope that gave you a little bit of information about Super Harem. And don't be afraid to, like I said, I'm not an expert. If you want to tell me that I'm wrong in the comments, please do. And otherwise, like, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.